downtown triple lot with a skyline view for $6,700. Each one of those individual lots today is worth $150,000. This video is how I bought my very first tax deed at a delinquent tax sale. And today, that initial $6,700 investment for 3 lots, which is like $2,200 a piece. Each one of those individual lots today is worth $150,000. So I remember one summer night I was in my living room and I was watching the news, and there was a story about a new downtown real estate development that was going to be like something like 125 acres, a 4-phase development with hundreds of houses. And so they gave the cross street to the development. I thought, man, that's not too far from my house. So I hopped in the car, drove over there, and it was a historic neighborhood, but all the houses have been torn down. When they put in the freeway, they bought up more land than they needed, tore down all the old houses that at that time had turned into the hood, and the city had done this through eminent domain and basically handed all that land to some private developers that had a plan to go in there and build a bunch of houses, which would help the county because now you get a bunch of houses on the property tax roll rather than have a bunch of vacant lots. People weren't paying any taxes. So what I noticed when I got over there was, man, a bunch of these lots had beautiful skyline views. The other thing that I noticed was that in one of the lots there was a stake with a little hot pink sign on it, and on that sign was the information about a tax sale auction, of time and the day and a legal description, and the price that it was going to be, the opening bid. At that time, I didn't know anything about the delinquent tax sale. 15 years earlier, I can remember seeing infomercials from this guy named Carlton Sheets talking about, oh, this person bought a house for $2,000, and I can remember laying in bed thinking, nah, that's a scam. There's no way you can buy a house for $2,000-$3,000. Even in those days, a nice house was $150,000. And so I took note of the information on the sign, and I went down to the county the next day and inquired about the tax sale. I learned you had to register for the sale, and I got a copy of the rules, and put it on my calendar to go to the auction and see if I could buy that lot. So the opening bid was something like $6,700. It was one parcel, but it actually had 3 city lots within that parcel. They were each 50 foot wide by 150 foot deep. So the total parcel was 150 deep by 150 across. And so at the time, the developer was going to advertise the individual city lots for sale to prospective owner builders for like $27,500 a piece. This parcel had 3 lots within there, within that one parcel. So you could actually subdivide those out and sell them individually, or you could do what I did, parcel out one of them and then keep the other 2 to build a nice house on and have a nice big side yard. So I went down to the auction and waited for them to call the parcel, and they called it out, and opening bid $6,700. Do we have any bids? I raised up my bidder card. Hey, over here, I'll take it. Do we have any other bidders? Seeing no other bidders, sold. You mean I just bought this downtown triple lot with a skyline view for $6,700? This guy right here? Yep. That's exactly what happened. The owners didn't pay the property taxes. By that time, I think it was already in the developer's hands, and it slipped through the cracks. The city employee didn't catch it. The developers didn't catch it. Well, I caught it. I picked it up. I picked up the fumble, ran 99 yards to the end zone. Man, in my head, I'm high stepping it like primetime Deion Sanders on a kickoff return. And so I ended up getting the tax deed, the court administrator's deed, about 6 months later. And I didn't have any immediate plans for the property. At that time, my only plan was to buy it and hold it, and then hopefully work hard, save up some money, and build a house on it. And ultimately, that's what happened. A couple of years later, I was able to save up the down payment for the construction loan, meet with the architect, get the plans drawn up, and build my dream house at the time. I did all this at the age of 29. So this was my very first property bought at the delinquent tax sale. Since then, I have bought them and fixed them. We bought them and flipped them. We bought them and rented them. We bought them and done everything you can do with a piece of real estate. Rehabbed them, remodeled them, restored them. If you name it, if you can think about it, we've done it. We've rented them short-term, long-term, mid-term. We bought residential, commercial. We bought vacant lots. We bought acreage. Every single type of real estate out there has property taxes. And every single type of real estate has people that don't pay the property taxes for whatever reason. Either their business goes bust, somebody passes away and there's no heirs, they're on a fixed income and they just don't have the money to do it. They get sick. Landlords walk away from properties for whatever reason. Whatever the reason is, every county in America has a delinquent tax sale or a delinquent tax sale. We can either buy a tax lien or a tax deed. My specialty is tax deeds. We'll make a video about tax liens later on, but this video is how I bought my very first tax deed at a delinquent tax sale property. And today, that initial $6,700 investment for 3 lots, which is like $2,200 a piece. Each one of those individual lots today is worth $150,000. So if we had just kept the lots, they'd be worth something like $450,000. But, this is over time. So at the time when I bought the lots, they were worth, already worth more than, they were worth like $80,000. So even at the time, it was a 10x return on the investment day one if I had just sold them then. But we'll make a subsequent video about what we ultimately did with the property and what we use the property for now. But 22 years later, the real estate is still green. It is still producing income. It is still part of our portfolio. It is still part of our net worth. And it is still the foundation of our generational wealth. I want you to know that you can do this too. You can go from nothing to something. You can start with nothing and have everything. You can change your life. You can change your family tree. You can build kingdom wealth. You can build generational wealth in one lifetime. I'm proof positive that this can be done. And if I can do it, you can do it. I'm not the first person. I'm not the last person to do it. Ultimately, I want you to know that you can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens you, just like he strengthens me. I hope you find this video helpful. I hope you find it encouraging. I hope that it edifies you, that it builds you up, that it strengthens you, that it lights a fire in your belly. I hope it does something besides you sitting there and consuming content passively. That's not the purpose of this video. This is not entertainment. This is to teach you that you can get into real estate, you can make a career out of real estate, and you can get really good deals at tax sales. Yeah, so I wrote a book about it. And if you would like to reserve an advance copy of this book, just put your email in there. We'll put you on the list. And when we print the first batch, you'll be the first one to get a copy. And you'll find a lot more information in that long format than I can deliver to you in this 10-minute video. So again, God bless. I will see you on the next video.